Yeah, that should work.
Yeah, it should
We're
be.
trying to figure out how do we do it in the truck. It's been so long.
It's my truck. It's tiny.
I don't think it's been since, or at least since I did a review in here, I don't think it's been since, like, The Sitter.
Fucking hell. Good lord.
In that time period, Jonah Hill has gone from fat to skinny to fat again. Fuck.
Jonah's like a yo-yo.
But we just got out. Yeah, we just got out of Jersey Boys. They didn't do a pre-screening for it because they didn't send it to. I was wondering why they didn't do a pre-screening for it, but it's because they sent it to the theater that we go see the damn religious movies at.
It's the indie theater is what it is. It used to be the nice theater, the only one we had in town that was actually nice.
Yeah, back in the early mid-90s, this was like, I mean, honestly, it's the theater, the auditoriums are still really nice.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it's still a nice theater. It's just not as...
No one goes to it.
It's not as nice as 12 is what it is. 12 has the amenities that we never had in any of these theaters up to that point. So
yes, the new soda machines now. Have you seen those? Oh, they now have the soda machines that have like the 200 different kinds of syrup in it. So if you want Coke Zero, you can choose between like 12 different kinds. They have 3 of these machines set up, and you go in, you get your cup. If you get a drink, they give you the cup, and then you go to the machines, you do it yourself. The only thing that worries me about that is when the theater is really busy, that line will probably be really fucking big.
Right?
Since there's like only like 3 of them. I don't know, you'll have somebody, do I want cherry? Do I want lime? Or do I want lime and cherry? I don't know.
Get them both, motherfucker, get out of my goddamn way!
I didn't have that problem last night, because we were at fucking Think Like a Man 2, which was dead. So I didn't have that problem last night. I might have.
Well, you should have went and seen it on the other side of town. I bet the other side of town wasn't
Honestly,
as dead.
That's the funny thing. He's right. I mean,
it's terrible. Yeah,
he's right, because like, okay, I'll put it to you like this.
There's a line in Springfield.
Yeah.
There's a line that divides Springfield, and the line divides...
And it spreads across all genres, too, because the Fast and the Furious movies do way better on the East End Theater as well. So, to give you a huge example, the main theater we go to and this theater are, like, just blocks from each other. So, I've seen Box Office Mojo, because a few people sent it to me, and Think Like a Man 2 is doing really well at the box office, and Jersey Boys is doing, but you wouldn't know that if you go see either 2 of those movies here, because while Think Like a Man 2 had like 6 or 7 people at it, Jersey Boys was packed when we went to go see it.
Yeah, it was.
And yet, national box office, they say it's probably going to make like $10 million, but Think Like a Man 2 is probably going to make like 40, which is sad, because this movie is honestly really good.
It was fun. It really was. I mean, obviously, you know, it's It's going to be a musical. It's based on the stage play. But yeah, I mean, obviously, the music is timeless. I mean, these are all songs that everybody has heard at one point or another. If you've turned on an oldie station,
yeah,
you've heard a Four Seasons song.
You've seen any Mafia movie.
Any Mafia movie.
Episodes of The Sopranos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, we were singing to ourselves, tapping our feet.
Man.
We were the youngest ones in there,
yes,
too.
We were. Easily.
Yeah, like the same thing happened to us like a month ago when we came here to go see Mom's Night Out. For the youngest
were you the only guys?
Yeah, actually, I think we were. It was a bunch of housewives who were in there.
Out. Jesus.
That movie blew chunks. It was like I said, this movie though is like, this movie is legitimately like really, really good. But I did say last night, I was like, well, this movie's the best, this movie's the best friend that, or Think Like a Man 2 is the best friend that this movie could have, because this movie could have turned out to be a piece of shit, but I'd go see it and be like, well, I mean, that was kind of okay, because the last fucking movie I saw was fucking Think Like a Man 2. It's like when I saw Transcendence 20 minutes after Haunted House 2. Yeah, Transcendence blew ass, but I couldn't get that mad because it didn't have Marlon Wayans fucking the Annabelle doll from The Conjuring in it for 10 minutes. movie like
you went to see your black movie last night, and now you saw your white movie tonight. That's seriously. And that's not even a racial thing, because it's fucking true. You go from straight up black homie G shit to North Jersey Guidos in the course of 24 hours.
I've hit all of the.
You've hit all of the stereotypes in 24 hours that you. I mean, we need to go watch an Irish potato farming film now. That's what we need to do.
We need to go home and watch Darby O'Gill and the Little People. Round it all out, yeah.
Fucking yes. That's awesome.
Let's throw the Indians in there. I'll go home and watch some F Troop.
Rio Bravo.
Rio Bravo. Hey, it was close. I was close to Rio Bravo today, because the movie I was watching today had a character in it named Stumpy. So it was definitely wasn't Rio Bravo. But I wish I was watching Rio Bravo.
Oh shit.
A movie like this, it's a music movie. It is only in the ending credits is it like a stage musical where all the characters are kind of dancing and singing.
Right.
And the rest of it is, it's not a musical in the sense that characters are, stop what they're doing and they just start singing the plot or something like that. It's like it's a rock and roll biopic. So the scenes where they're on stage singing and in the recording studio singing, yeah, you hear all the songs. And I mean, it goes without saying that if you don't like Frankie Valli and you don't like the Four Seasons,
then you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, because I fucking love the Four Seasons. I love the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons are awesome.
Oh shit!
I love Frankie Valli. So obviously, yeah, this movie. Yeah, right. Oh my god.
Jesus, it's hot in here. Summer.
The Sky thought this was a way better movie too.
Right.
From fucking last night with that lightning storm. Jesus Christ.
They do. I mean, it's stage-wise. Yeah. No, I don't need music. Stop it. I like it, but stop. Like a stage play or stage musical, each character is given a sides. So there are scenes where they're actually talking to you, talking directly to the camera.
And I liked that.
It is, and honestly,
that's a hard thing to pull off. That's a hard thing to pull off because so many stupid ass, fucking pretentious, thinking they're smarter than they are indie romances from the '90s tried doing that, all wanting to be like Woody Allen, and that gimmick almost jumped the shark in the mid to late '90s. But this one, I honestly thought pulled it off.
I think it's because it's a musical. It pulled it off because it's explaining the things that go behind the scenes. It helps. Like a lot of the asides that they do help to advance the story. It's not just, I'm just gonna have an aside just to talk. They're actually advancing the story, and that's why it works. And
it's funny. And what they say is typically pretty funny. Yeah. Unlike the narration that I got last night with Kevin Hart jumping in. Damn! Now here's what's going on with this couple. I know, they just told me.
This is what this female said right now. She's saying, I'm making a shit ton of money for doing not a lot of work. And I'm 5'1". I'm fucking Kevin Hart!
2 movies in a row that have really short guys in them.
It's true, yeah.
Frankie Valli can't be more than,
tall.
He's got to be shorter than me. Even probably 5'2", 5'3".
He's a tiny little guy.
Yeah, the stuff that they're saying. The movie. Here's what the movie is. It's Goodfellas crossed with That Thing You Do.
Yeah, it is. I mean it.
It's got the mafia.
It takes a little bit of liberty, I think, with probably the true story. But there was an actual real connection with all those guys of the mob.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where obviously. I mean, you couldn't have grown up in New Jersey, New York, that area, without having some tie to the mob. During that time period, they were everywhere.
At least in their neighborhood, like they said, if you're gonna do something here, you're gonna either go to war, you're gonna end up in the mob, or you're gonna be famous.
I think that could have been the case with pretty much all of those burbs, all those projects around New Jersey that led to New York, because that was just easy access. The mob had easy access to New York. They could duck back to Jersey when things got hot. It was just one of those things that Jersey Jersey may be the butthole of New York, but it was a clean butthole for the mob. They made sure they wiped their ass a lot.
They bleached it.
They did. They bleached their asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like any bio movie like this, I'm sure there were liberties taken. I wouldn't know what they were necessarily. As much as I really do love their music, I'm not an expert on their backstory by any means.
I mean, that was 50 years ago, so... What I mean, it's hard to lay down any real backstory that far. Well, I mean, especially now, like if you're documenting it at the time, which nowadays it's fucking like everything is documented. The truth is always somewhere, even if somebody says something different. Back then, it wasn't the case. So you've got a bunch of guys coming in 50 years later recounting this stuff. They're not all going to recount. They didn't recount it right all the same then, so they're definitely not going to do it now.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is back when, like, yeah, all right, we'll test your song out in Detroit and a couple other places and see how it does.
Right.
I mean, that's
where you could walk in with a demo tape and go, oh yeah, we're going to record some songs. I mean, that you can't do that anymore. It's conglomerated. It's big business now. It's really tough to get into like that. Like almost impossible.
The going to like the Mafia and Goodfellas and everything. It's got Joe Pesci in it.
Not actual Joe Pesci, but
not the way you think. I mean,
yeah. So apparently, Tommy DeVito, who was in Four Seasons, had a relationship with Joe Pesci, the actor. So a guy, an actor, is playing Joe Pesci, the actor, before he was an actor.
Is doing an amazing job because you can picture Joe Pesci playing this part. It's bizarre. It's like you're watching this character in a movie who is a character who is this wormy little fast-talking guy who you'd see Pesci play in a Scorsese film, but it is Joe Pesci. It's really surreal. The guy was amazing.
It kind of made me wonder if he was playing the Joe Pesci we know now, or if he was playing the Joe Pesci then, who was always that fucking way, and that's what led him to stardom in the gangster films.
Yeah, it's starting out in, like Raging Bulls, stuff like that.
Or when
he had the toothpick. He always had the toothpick out.
Oh, he dropped his. Okay.
He did.
I'm just
okay,
okay, this is good. I like this. But Joe Pesci is the one that supposedly introduces Bob Gaudio, who was the primary songwriter for the Four Seasons, to the rest of the group, which is what caused them to take off. They had their biggest success after he joined the group. I think they were still like the Four Lovers at that point. And then, then
the Four Lovers. What was it? The Tyrants no, not the Tyrants. There was a bunch of them that they
went through so many damn names. It wasn't even funny.
You come back as the Four Coloreds, and then we'll pick you up.
Come back black.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, you heard him, Tommy. Go get the shoe polish.
That may have been the only scene where there was black people. Was that fucking record scene when they open the door and there's the black guy playing the saxophone, I think, or trumpet. He was playing a horn instrument. That was about the only color in this entire movie.
There was, when it was skimming past the window, and there were we were skimming past the window, and there were a bunch of people like auditioning for auditioning their demos and things like that. It is a funny movie too. I mean, their back and forths with each other are good. It was some parts I was kind of real quick. Some stuff is like legitimately really funny, like the way that they get their ideas for some of their songs, like when they're watching the Kirk Douglas movie and he slaps the girl and they're sitting there laughing at it, like, like, oh, come on, big girls don't cry. Huh.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great.
The stuff with Christopher Walken was fun. I mean, he's Christopher Walkening the hell out of it.
Yeah, and it just, Christopher Walken will just, you hire Christopher Walken anymore, to do Christopher Walken. You don't hire him to do something else.
Yeah, he still commanded the screen in this. I mean, I'm sure this might have been one of his roles where he was just reading his lines off a cue card in front of the actor's face, because I've heard that he does that on certain movies. This might have been one of them, but he still, when he is on screen, it's hard to pay attention to anything else.
Yeah.
Because he is funny. He does have funny lines about telling Tommy DeVito not to use his bathroom because he just found out he pisses in bathroom sinks. But there were a couple of parts where I was sort of unintentionally like smirking a little bit, like the makeup at the end.
Oh, well, yeah.
That kind of went into like J. Edgar territory a little bit. It looked kind of weird.
Well, that's Eastwood for you. I'm sure he hired the same makeup artist for this as he did.
Are you kidding? That was
J. Edgar.
That was I believe that, but like it was this close to looking like my fucking beard from the Snob movie. That's how questionable it looked.
Well, I mean I know it wouldn't have been quite the same, but you could have probably asked those guys together for that part.
Are all of them still alive? I know Frankie Valli is.
3 of them. I think it's Nick Massey who was their bassist.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead. But DeVito, Valli, and Gaudio are all still alive. At least, according to Wikipedia, they're all still alive. So,
According to Wikipedia, they're also Batman.
Right? Who fucking knew? But I think that would have been kind of neat at some point in the movie if they would have had some part of it.
I was looking for him. I mean, we saw Frankie Valli's name at the end as executive producer. And Brett Ratner. Okay.
You know what? As long as he's not trying to direct somebody, he's all right. You throw money, you have him throw money at stuff, okay, fine.
Executive produce like music movies, right on, dude. Go ahead. I like this movie. This was a really good movie. Just keep fucking doing that.
Please God, no Rush Hour, whatever we're at now, 3, 4, 5. 4. Or no Beverly Hills Cop 3. I saw that you greenlit that. Don't fucking do it.
Cop 4? I mean, I understand you prefer not acknowledging Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yes. 4s of everything. Brett Ratner gets attached to 4s all the damn time.
Oh, but what else is there? As it went along, Frankie Valli was looking a little bit more like Davy Jones than he was looking like Frankie Valli, kinda.
The hair getting a little long with the sideburns and.
I know I asked you this in the theater, but did you see if the actors in this movie are from the stage show?
I don't think they are.
Oh, okay.
At least not the original, because I think the original was 2005. I mean, it's been going on for a while. I've seen a couple of those guys I know are actors that I've seen in other things.
Yeah, I know I've seen Bob in something. Tommy DeVito looked familiar.
He's in if I remember correctly, I've seen him in Boardwalk Empire.
Okay.
He's who the fuck is he?
It's a show
not Meyer Lansky, but Bugsy.
That's a show I need to sit down and watch sometime.
That's good. It's a good show.
Yeah.
But he's in Boardwalk Empire, so he's an actor. So I'm guessing they probably got actors. I don't know if they got them to sing the songs themselves, or if they came in and dubbed.
I mean,
it was hard to tell, because that's the one good thing. If they weren't singing the songs themselves, you couldn't tell. It was.
No, sorry.
I was gonna say, it was pretty seamless.
Yeah, I mean, the parts, you could certainly tell it was ADR'd.
Right.
Which, you'll just have that in a movie like this, but in terms of whether the actor was actually doing the vocals or not, it seemed fine to me. It seemed like he could probably belt out the Frankie Valli voice. Whoever it was, if it was the actor, or if it was somebody else, he was good. Yeah. He got Frankie Valli's voice down, I thought. Or at least good enough for a movie about him.
Right.
He did just fine. I thought, because really, there were times when the structure was a little weird on the movie, largely kind of in the first half. You really, and to a degree, this is fine. Really, in the first half, it's more so Tommy DeVito's movie than it is anybody else. It really isn't until the second half of the movie that you really kind of get to know Frankie Valli as a character, which I guess in the history of everything makes sense, because that's the point where he starts going solo. Right. So, yeah, that sort of makes sense. But and Tommy DeVito's a really good character in this movie. Like he is. He's a fun character to spend time with. But some of the structure was a little odd in the sense that, like, for a moment, I forgot that Frankie Valli was married until, like, his wife turned back up, like, maybe 40 minutes later in the movie.
Right.
And then he's got, like, a 5-year-old daughter. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's got and then later on, he's got 3, like, preteen teenage daughters. And so I was like, oh, okay. So he's got 3 kids now. I mean, so, things like that kind of happened in the movie.
Well, I think that it wasn't too long. That actually wasn't that long. I think it just never paid attention to the older daughters. It keyed on Francine because because of what happens later on.
Oh, so absolutely. But it was jarring at first, because up until it showed, unless I missed it, up until it showed the 3 daughters standing there when he leaves, I didn't know he had 3 kids in the movie.
No, and you don't. I mean, even in, like, there's a Christmas scene where one of the girls has a giant horse. Yeah. And I think she's the only girl. So I think it's trying to set up that that's the oldest daughter. It jumps ahead. Like, it jumps back and forth.
Sometimes that was hard to, like, because at one point it jumps back 2 years, and as it kept going, I kept wondering, like, are we caught up, or is this still a flashback?
Exactly. So that whole thing ended up being a flashback.
Yeah.
Because they end up on the Ed Sullivan Show, and what happens is Tommy is so far behind that the bookie comes on backstage at the Ed Sullivan Show. None of the other guys really knew how bad he was in debt.
A lot.
But, yeah, it was like $150,000, which
back then, $10 million.
It's a lot of money. Massey, who was the bass player, Nicky, he kind of had an inkling because he was the one that roomed with him. So he kind of knew, as far as money-wise, how Tommy was bad with it, but he didn't realize. But at that point, as soon as they start singing in the Ed Sullivan Show, it does flash back a couple years earlier, when they were still doing more extensive touring right before they hit it super big. And how, like, they got arrested one night after the Ohio State Fair.
Yeah.
Because they had skipped out on the bill at their hotel from the previous year, which none of the other guys knew. It was just Tommy. Tommy shilled them. So they all spent the night in jail. Mm-hmm. And then it starts to show the cracks until it leads up to where they end up having to have this intervention over this money.
With Christopher Walken.
And the bookie.
And it goes into, how did that play out? They were sending Tommy off to Las Vegas until everything is squared away, and then, Frankie Valli, as much as this guy pisses him off, he's loyal to him, so, he has his own code of ethics that he takes on this guy's debt. He ends up touring the entire country. He has God knows how many freaking shows a week, while at the same time, he still has his biggest hit coming up,
Right.
Hell, even and there are a couple of times where it does play the actual song, the original, like, songs. December 1963, it plays that at the end.
Right.
It plays Sherry, on the ending credits, like the actual, like, Four Seasons and Frankie Valli versions. But the guys in the movie have really good chemistry together.
Yeah. I mean, the acting is good in it. It's
the part where I'm assuming, it's Bob losing his virginity in the scene, because he's standing there afterwards holding a cigarette, going, "You're right. It is much better with another person.
Yes.
The audience we saw it with really seemed to enjoy it.
Right, and I mean that's in knowing as far as what Clint Eastwood has done in the past couple of years with this movie and then with J. Edgar, he is going towards an older audience. I'm not saying
the audience we had is certainly the audience that it was geared towards.
These are some of these people were young kids, teenagers when these songs came out. So I mean, it's a nostalgia thing for them. But that's not to say this is a bad movie. Not to say that everybody can enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, even though I wasn't around at the time, I grew up listening to music of that era. I grew up listening to music.
I mean,
like
and
this.
most of our parents were younger, if not right around that era.
Yeah, my dad, 1955.
Yeah, my dad was 52.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not to say that they were right on the forefront of that, but, you know, we gleaned a lot of that from them, from what they listened to. So, you know, I grew up listening to those kind of songs.
Yeah.
My mom had the oldie station on, so I'd hear Four Seasons, I'd hear Patsy Cline,
Rolling Stones.
America.
Rolling Stones is my dad's favorite band, and yeah, I grew up listening to the Stones and the Four Seasons. Yeah, my dad always had the oldies stations on. I mean, and when we were growing up, the oldies stations did play a lot of stuff from the 50s. Now, in Springfield, it's really, if you turn on the oldies station, it's playing like the late 60s through to the 1980s.
Yeah, which is kind of scary because I'm starting to hear songs that I grew up with now. I'm like, no,
what the fuck?
No. You know, they had fucking played Smashing Pumpkins on the classic rock station
my God.
the other day. I about lost my shit. I'm like, that's not classic rock. I was 13. That wasn't that
I had that
long
same problem.
ago. That was only 18, 19 years ago. Why, no.
I had that same problem when Nick at Night started showing shows that I watched first run.
Fucking like Friends and shit like that.
Yeah, or like when they started showing Cheers and like the Wonder Years.
Yeah, oh Jesus.
But yeah, I grew up listening to the oldies with my dad. The 80s stuff was like my mom primarily, and since I grew up in two different households, you know, I was hearing both of those a lot, and I mean, even to this day, that's very much my kind of music. And also, too, in the movies I watch as well, because I watch a lot of movies that have music like this on the soundtrack, whether I'm watching a Scorsese film.
Yeah,
or,
that's true.
You know, the movie did kind of have Clint Eastwood in it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it did.
They're watching an Eastwood movie on the TV at one point. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of his westerns.
Was it an Eastwood movie or was it his television
Rawhide?
work? Was it Rawhide? Because it was really, really young.
Yeah,
it was black and white.
That would have been Rawhide.
Oh man, my car does it too. Fucking shit. I didn't think it would.
I still love to this day. We've been doing this for 3 years now. To this day, I still get, every once in a while, it doesn't happen often, but I get a comment from somebody saying, like, why don't you think to just turn the light on and keep it on?
Mine does.
Really? Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, wait, I did. It has a 10-minute timer.
It's a safety measure to keep you from running down your fucking battery.
The only way that the car will stay on, the only way that the light will stay on in the usual car is if the car is running.
Exactly.
And yeah, we're not going to do that.
And that's every car made after a certain point. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm glad because I don't want to come out with my battery dead just because I was a dumbass and left the light on.
And it kind of tells me how long the video is running too, because it happens like every 10 minutes.
Oh, shit.
We did get a trailer for, you mentioned America a second ago. We did get a trailer for America, the movie.
But it's not America as we know. They're talking about, because they show some fucking scene with some bullshit thing that George Washington got shot. George Washington didn't do the front lines. He let the grenade. But apparently George Washington gets shot in one of these battles, and then it cuts to all of our great monuments just disappearing in ash.
Yeah, here's what it is. It's that I highly doubt I am gonna even waste anybody's time on this. It's that fucking idiot Dinesh D'Souza's movie, however you pronounce his name.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
And anyway, there's a giant poster for it at Showplace 12, right next to, hang on, I might have it on my phone. It's right next to the Transformers 4 poster, and it kind of looks like it should all be part of the same poster. It's bizarre. Let me see if I took a picture of that a couple of weeks ago, because this would have been when I went to go see...
When you sent me that goddamn fucking Tammy poster, is that...
At least we didn't get the poster for... I think I took those pictures around the same time.
God damn it.
Melissa McCarthy is photoshopped. Like, no kidding. That's like the friggin'... That's the most misleading poster I've ever seen in my life. Well, anyway, maybe I didn't take a picture of it, but it is... I know I took a picture of the Tammy poster because I sent it to you.
Yeah. No.
What it is, it's the giant fucking poster they have for this America thing, which is, from what I gather, is supposed to be like this fake what if kind
Alternate
of documentary.
history.
Yeah, like when they did that Confederate States of America movie, or that one that was like Death of a President, what if George W. Bush was killed, or whatever that weird fucking thing was. And
wow, I might have watched that. That sounds alright. No, that's terrible.
Well, there was
George Bush was an idiot. He's not a bad man. There's a difference.
Yeah, come on. Let him eat his pretzels and munch on some soap.
Lyndon Johnson was a dickwad.
Yeah, but Lyndon Johnson was like, he got shit. He was like, if you fucked with him, he'd scream at you.
Yeah, because he fucking killed Kennedy. Son of a bitch.
Have you been hanging out with Oliver Stone again?
No, just Josh.
Does Josh think that?
I don't know. But, no.
Good one, Josh.
Great.
The one movie you're talking about that you did see, it's fucking JFK. But it's one of those. It's one of those fake documentaries. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
It is. I think you're right.
But the big poster for it, which is the Statue of Liberty, like, kind of dissolving in ash, is right next to this big fuck-off Transformers 4 poster with the robot dinosaur, and they're both right together. So it looks like they're both part of the same poster. That mechanical dinosaur is eating the Statue of Liberty or breathing on it so hard that it's turning into dust.
Watch out, Michael Bay can see that and post-edit it in the into Transformers 4.
America, where we have 4 Transformers movies.
Right.
And only 1 Dredd movie. Fuck off! Oh, 2 Dredd movies, I guess.
No, we don't count the other one. I am the law! Law!
Does that come with a fork? What else did we get? We got, that Robert Downey Jr. movie, The Judge. Speaking of Judge, that looked...
The John Grisham Light movie?
Yeah. The trailer was generic as shit and almost made for TV-ish looking in a way, but considering the cast, I'm wondering if it's far better than the trailer is letting on.
I have to think it is.
With a lead like Robert Downey Jr.
You got Robert Duvall in it.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking people. Who else was in this?
Billy Bob was in it.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton. I know I'm missing a couple of people
There
here.
was a bunch, basically Academy Award nominees or Academy Award winners.
Yeah,
And in fact, the trailer made sure you knew, hey, they won an Academy Award, they won an Academy Award.
Yeah, it was one of those trailers. But it was really generic looking, but I'm wondering if the movie is like way better. It looked like the parts at the beginning where Robert Downey Jr. is being sleazy attorney looked kind of fun.
Right. So it's, I don't know. The family comedy.
The Jason Bateman one.
This is Where I Left You, is that what it's called?
I think it had a big...
This is Where I Left You.
This is Where We Get Off. I don't know. It had like a big title like that. Like,
yeah, there was...
Feeling kind of, sort of.
There was getting off in that movie. No. That one actually looks kind of fun.
Considering it's directed by Sean Levy, it did not look bad.
Well, it's got a really good, strong comedic cast.
I laughed in the trailer.
Yeah, because it's got Bateman, it's got Tina Fey, it's got
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda.
Looking amazing.
Well,
I mean, it's.
She's had help.
There were a couple of extensions that really.
That's no Jane Fonda aerobics video that made her look that good.
That looked nothing like her boobs in Coming Home. Granted, those weren't really her boobs in Coming Home, but I liked it. I'd like to think it was. 13-year-old masturbating Brad thought that it was. My dick is sticking with that story, God damn it. I was masturbating to Jane Fonda.
You know, she's not a tease like Bridget was. Bridget went, full frontal. I mean, she's good. Jane Fonda was teasing us. Bridget, she's like, whatever.
I could be like the weird guy in my high school who was probably masturbating to Jane Fonda, but it was her eating dog food and Clute. You're weird.
Yeah, baby.
Eat that dog food.
Oh, that
yeah.
Purina looks great.
Oh, yeah. Ew. Go away. You sit at the other table. You get.
God damn it, Nick.
I was just going to say the same thing. What are you even doing here? We don't even go to the same high school. You get back to Springfield High, asshole. Eat your dog food there. It looked like one of those dysfunctional family movies.
Yeah.
It totally did. It looked like, well, fuck, last year we just had that August Osage County movie. It looked like, whether it's that or like Home from the Holidays.
Family Stone.
Yeah. I forgot about that movie. Yeah, something like that. But it's like he said, the cast. Hell, I've even seen Jason Bateman play this role on Arrested Development.
Yeah,
But they still were pretty funny. They got some good one-liners in the trailer.
Did.
I laughed.
I just, you know what? As I get older, I think that could have been part of it too. With my family, all of my siblings are adult now. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of different now watching a trailer like that than it would have been 10 years ago.
I can see that.
When I was the adult and my younger sisters were still in the house.
Of course, in my case, it was, fuck, I'm in my early mid-20s now. Now less than zero is really making sense.
Oh, shit.
No, I know what you mean. Like, I mean, granted, like, I don't know if my family is, dysfunctional to the extent of, like, the Jason Bateman movie and movies like that, but every family has their nuts and bolts.
I can relate to the parents talking about sex and
Yeah.
how they had sex. I'm just like, yeah.
My parents gave me a book, and I don't like...
Kama Sutra? What?
No, the novelization of Caligula. It was Madonna's Sex.
No fucking
No, it
way.
wasn't.
I'm like, wait a minute. I wouldn't put it past your mom, though. I really wouldn't. She'd be like, you know what? Here's all you need to know, son.
She did show me Body of Evidence when it first came out, though. My mom didn't give a fuck what I watched. Like, that's what I mean. Like, my parents gave me a book. They didn't have the sex talk with me. They gave me a book about sex. And I didn't like to read back then. And the book was really long. So I had Cinemax and Showtime. So that's how I learned.
As did we all. Those old cable to scrambler boxes.
Yeah, those and
Those and the Adam and Eve channel. 11-year-old me was stoked.
What was Spice? Was that the name of?
Spice.
Remember Spice?
Spice, hell yeah.
I think Spice was before it was the Playboy channel, or at least here, like Playboy channel took over for Spice, and
We ended up having 2 adult film channels, and
Yeah.
I'm like, how do we even get 2 adult film channels?
Well, one was hardcore, one was softcore.
Yeah,
well, I guess
that's
2
true.
softcore if you combine the Playboy channel and Cinemax. I mean, I grew up with Cinemax. I really did. We had the HBO Cinemax package.
Right.
So I was the kid, while the other kids in the class are like scrambling for their magazines, I had it on television. I was the kid who could sit down on the couch after the folks went to bed.
Exactly.
And could choose
down.
like, all right, is tonight a Shannon Tweed night or a Shannon Weary night? Fuck it, let's mix it up a little bit. It's a Lisa Boyle night. Or is she Cassandra Peterson
Holy
this
shit.
time?
Nice. Oh, son of a bitch.
You're welcome for the few out there who will get those references.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's just not the same anymore. Now it's on-demand bullshit. I'm like, no.
No, fuck that.
No. One, why would you pay $13 for a goddamn movie? No.
I can, yeah.
The internet's free, kids. Mm-hmm. Go on there.
Now I can watch the Bikini Car Wash Company anytime I want.
In HD. No.
sometimes I would get really screwed. Like, okay, for anyone who grew up with those channels, you always knew how, like, it would say the name of the movie. Like, in the back of the HBO Cinemax guide, it would say, like, it'd have a list of every movie that was playing throughout the month.
Right.
And it would have, like, V for violence, AL for adult language, AC adult content, and then there would be N for nudity, and then SC for, like, strong sexual content. And SC typically meant it was gonna be like a Skinamax flick. Yeah. But not all the time. Sometimes, you know, I'd be like 12 years old, I'd be like, what's this movie coming up?
That's totally the first time you watched The Accused, wasn't it?
No, I know. No, I knew. No,
that's SC, and it's not SC you wanted to watch.
No, that typically added RP to the thing. I knew that, like, that would get kind of questionable. So no, like, sometimes, like, it'd be like, okay, this one has SC. I'd be like 12 years old, and it'd be like Vice Squad.
Oh, God.
You know, like, ooh, this wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, but this movie's awesome. Zip, I'm watching this movie. This movie's fucking great. Fucking Ramrod and shit.
I can spare a few moments.
Yeah, I can watch the rest of this. Yeah. Fuck yeah. And sometimes it'd be really fucking dark.
This is totally not even close to where we are in the fucking...
If you don't understand what we're saying, you're not from Jersey. You got any final thoughts about?
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
I'm talking about Cinemax.
Oh, I have fun.
Oh, that's
Cinemax. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Hotel Erotica, yeah, baby.
Emmanuel the series.
Ooh, yeah. Oh.
This flight that she and Lazenby on's a really long flight. She's telling them these really long stories. They should set this show in space. No, I had a lot.
You know who's really good? You know who'd be really good in that? Krista Allen. That's who'd be really good in that.
Let's get George Clooney's flame on the... No, I had a lot of fun at this movie. I did. No, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's because I was kind of worried about where Eastwood's head was at after J. Edgar. Because J. Edgar... Meh. I mean, it had its moments, but overall, just... No.
I didn't see it. I mean, I saw the makeup shots of it, but I didn't see the whole movie.
It didn't come together well. I honestly think there were a lot more liberties taken with J. Edgar than there were with Jersey Boys. Because at least with Jersey Boys, as far as the musical goes, I think Bob Gowdy actually was helping to produce that. So at least you had one of the original members working on it.
Has Valley's name on it.
So, I mean, you know, at least they lend some credence to the film and they don't have to take as many liberties. But, you know, he did a good job. I think he toned down his Eastwood over-heavy, you know, overhandedness with his directing. And just kind of let it flow, and it worked really well this time around.
I thought it did. Yeah, I thought there weren't any really overly schmaltzy moments for me in scenes that you would think would probably happen, especially some of the scenes with him and his daughter, and it really does. It really worked for me. I thought the trailer looked really good. It's always been a show that I wanted to see because, like I said, I love the Four Seasons,
right.
And the reviews were pretty mixed for it, but that didn't really alter anything for me because I don't know. I haven't read a lot of the reviews, but no. I don't know if it's a situation of, like, you know, if you don't really like the Four Seasons, you're probably...
You're not going to want to watch it.
Yeah, you're probably not. You'll probably be bored by it. You probably won't like the music very well. If you don't like the Four Seasons, you're not going to like the music.
Right.
But if you do... So, yeah, honestly, if you're not a Four Seasons fan, I'd say, like, rent it. I mean, because it is a good movie. But if you are, I would certainly recommend going to see this in the theater.
Most definitely.
I thought it was fun.
But yeah, if you're not a fan of the Four Seasons, there's not enough in this movie to drive you're wanting to see it in theater.
No.
It's just one of those things where the in-betweens are great, but you have to sit through the music too. So if you don't like the music, it's going to turn you off, and you're not going to be as attentive to the
Oh, yeah.
in-betweens or the
Yeah.
interactions between the cast when they're not singing, which there's really good moments in there.
Uh-huh.
Their interactions it seems like this is a group rise to fame and tensions arrive and they break up. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a scene where their bassist Nicky goes off. He's been holding it in for years and years and years.
He's using all the fucking towels. It's not a clean fucking towel. I've been rooming with this motherfucker for 10 years, and it's a goddamn prison sentence. He pisses in the fucking sink. I say, Tommy, there's a fucking toilet right there. You don't piss in the fucking sink.
And Tommy, you know what Tommy says? It was closer. So yeah, I mean, it does a really good job of setting it up. You know, their rise, their fall, and they're kind of coming back out of it, and it ends with them at the 1990s Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony, where they all come together for the first time since their breakup.
And it wasn't overly like cheesy either. You
No.
got it really wasn't,
It was very
because
subdued.
yeah, because like Tommy and Frankie do like kind of share like a hug right there, but you can still see like the man, fuck this guy.
Yeah, there's
look in Frankie
still
Valli's
some
eyes.
there's some old wounds there that even after 25 years didn't heal right. So they have a mutual respect for what each other brought to the group and how they were able to rise. But aside from that, it's begrudging respect for one another is what it is, and that as far as the friendship goes, it was what they started out with. It's not nearly the same as what it was.
Well, I have a feeling it's going to be a lot better than all 2 hours and 46 minutes of Transformers 4 next week.
Do what?
You didn't see the running time?
It's a frickin'... What is this fucking Lord of the Rings?
They keep getting longer, each one.
Is the last one going to be like a 5-hour jerk fest where is Michael Bay just going to be masturbating on screen going, hey, guess what? I got your money.
I got another 20 minutes right here. What the fuck? Yeah,
He's like, I got this whole bottle of Viagra here, baby. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere.
IMDb puts it at 2 hours and 37 minutes. AMC puts it at 2 hours and 46 minutes. That's insane. That is fucking insane. I'm not really even considering our review for Transformers 3. You'd think I'd be looking to this as much as you and Jake were looking forward to Transformers 2. But just a simple change of the human cast in this movie is making me not dread it, because Mark Wahlberg can do fun dumb. He really can.
Although he can't do shock very well.
What?
They actually had
That's not true.
They had a little thing where it parodied it, where he finds Optimus. He's like, oh my god, you're a Transformer. He's like,
You're a Transformer.
you don't seem really surprised, but he's like, no man, I'm really surprised right now. This is me really shocked.
I think we found a Transformer.
Right.
Meanwhile, T.J. Miller is there. So let's go to Denver. But like, I'm not dreading it, but I'm kind of am with the fucking length.
I can't imagine. What the fuck how is it going to be 2 hours and 46 minutes?
The third one was 2 hours and 34 minutes. Something like that. At least, dude, though, at least, like, because when Transformers 3 came out, all of these fucking things were literally at midnight. So we were at Transformers 3 until, like, 3 in the goddamn morning. At least this time, it's, like, fucking 9 or something like that.
Oh,
Thank fucking
Jesus.
Christ. Oh, thank fucking Christ.
God.
Jesus. Oh.
I get to watch them fuck up Grimlock, which is gonna piss me off. Fucking love Grimlock, and I saw that trailer and I'm like, you know what? I will be okay if I hear me Grimlock one fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna get it because Michael Bay is a fucking asshole.
I want Pain and Gain Michael Bay to direct it, though. Hard R 90s style Michael Bay.
Bad Boys Michael Bay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I fucking
Bad
want.
Boys is fun.
Uh-huh.
It's not great, but it's fun.
It got
at
the
least.
job done. When Michael Bay is given a hard R, and Michael Bay is a guy who likes playing with his toys, and if you cut him loose and you have him like make like his toys are fucking, you know, he turns out some pretty, he turns out some pretty, you know, highly entertaining shit.
Well, and
he really does.
He can really get away with just destroying these fucking robots, and he doesn't.
No, because
Why
he's
he
got, yeah, when you give Michael Bay a franchise like this and a fucking leash around him, to the point to where he is literally making a movie for the PG-13 crowd, then it's fucking stupid. Then it's really fucking stupid. But you give him the hard R, and you just let him violently play with his toys as much as he fucking wants to, you know, he can give you some pretty good sleaze. He can, like, Pain and Gain was one of my favorite movies last year, of the last year. I fucking love The Rock, Bad Boys. Bad Boys 2 is so fucking over the top that I can't hate it. A guy gets stuffed into a Pringles can. Motherfuckers get blown in half. There's a car chase in a shanty town where you know people are dying. Will Smith opens fire with a machine gun in a fucking crowd. The movie does not give a shit.
No.
The movie is not, it's like an entire love letter to like Tony Scott's directing career. I can't hate that. I just can't. And if it's that Michael Bay doing a Transformers movie, right on, but it's not.
No.
Well, we gotta save that for next week.
It's Michael Bay the toy salesman is what it is.
Yeah. We gotta wait till next week, though, to find out about that, the specifics of that.
Bitch.
Alright, we've only got a few minutes left on the camera. So. See ya.
See ya.